welcome to Dive Bar Comedy episode 47. I am Wild Joe. I am here with my favorite comic and my husband, GT.
Hey, Wild Joe, what's going on with you?
Wow, GT, I'm feeling good. Sounds like you're feeling pretty good tonight, too.
Yeah, I'm ready to rock and roll. I got some good things happening, and I can't wait to get it off the ground.
Yeah, I heard you coming up with a new theme song. Speaking of rock and roll, I heard you rocking out on your guitar and coming up with a theme song for Dive Bar Comedy.
Yeah, I got a new punk theme song for a sizzle I'm working with, some producer, and this theme song is called Dive Bar Comedy. Sounds more like an 80s punk kind of a it has more like an 80s punk kind of feel to it, and it's something I wrote back when I was in my early 20s, and now I switched some words to it, and we made it into Dive Bar Comedy.
Yeah, a sizzle reel. I actually did a sizzle reel once for people who are not in on pitching TV shows, or I don't know if it's for all TV shows or just reality TV shows, but a sizzle reel is like a short kind of some clips that gives an idea of what the show would be. I did a sizzle reel once years ago in New York with some girls and this producer, and it was a lot of fun. It was funny. I could show it to you sometime, but it never got picked up as a pilot. So the sizzle reel is the thing that happens before the pilot, and we're hoping to do one for Dive Bar Comedy because we have so much fun at these shows. And right now we just have the podcast. Nobody gets to see visually how awesome it is, all the crazy characters and all the looks, the dive bar scene.
What do you think about the punk rock? You had the Plumber Girl. Plumber Girl had. Remember we produced Plumber Girl. I wrote the theme song to it, and it was people love it. Especially your sister was singing to it the other day, and singing along, and she seemed to be really into it, and people liked it.
Yeah, I never was a fan or listened to punk rock, so I didn't really know what it was. But it kind of sounds like surfer rock. It's pretty upbeat and happy and goofy and fun. And yeah, we did that show. Basically, that was like a sizzle reel for Plumber Girl, which was a show where I acted as a plumber going to people's houses and fixing their toilets and that kind of thing. And it was pretty funny, and as well as informational for people that want to learn about plumbing. You can search for it on YouTube, Plumber Girl, and it was an episode about me fixing a clogged toilet. And we worked with real plumbers to get it accurate.
Yeah, we worked with professionals, and we were lucky enough to use their equipment and unclog some toilets. So what do you think of earrings? Do you think I should be wearing any earrings in my sizzle?
Well, I just mentioned to you today that you look good as a bald. Is that a word? A bald? You're a bald? I don't know. That's like calling somebody a Jew. As a bald person. And you look a bit like Mr. Clean. But I think if you wore the hoop earrings, you would look a bit too much like Mr. Clean.
You think it's going to make me look kind of gay?
Back in the 80s, there was a code for being gay, maybe because people weren't as free with just saying it outright. But left earring was gay, right earring was straight, I believe. And then it got to the point, I remember in the 90s and the 2000s, where I think the 90s guys were wearing 2 earrings at a time. Then the 2000s, they started wearing those big holes, those giant gauge earrings. And now I don't know if men's earrings are in fashion at all.
Yeah, I haven't been wearing much jewelry ever since I got married with you. I'm usually wearing. I used to always wear jewelry and earrings, and I used to try to look like I used to go around with with looking like someone who gets on stage and sings and rocks out and parties. Now, just like ever since I got married, I don't do the bling bling thing anymore.
Well, I don't remember you wearing bling even when I knew you for years before we were married. But it's gone out of fashion. I spent a lot of money on some chrome hearts jewelry. I was thinking about that because I bought you a belt recently. And I was thinking about my belt with the big belt buckle that I spent $800 on this belt. It was a silver belt buckle from Chrome Hearts. I think it was $800, a big piece of silver and a really cool piece, but it's out of style and I can't really wear it anymore. But back, I guess that was probably the early 2000s. A lot of guys and girls were wearing the big silver cool looking belt buckle, if you remember that craze. And it went in style and it went out of style. It's funny how that happens, but now you would look like a fool if you wore that.
I have a belt buckle, a big one, and a leather pants. I wore it back into 8 years ago. That thing was cool, but my belt buckle, yeah, that's like you think that was out of style when I was wearing it?
I don't know, 8 years ago, you might have been right at the end. I mean, some things go out of style. Unfortunately, tribal tattoos were really hot about 10 or 15 years ago. Lower back tattoos were hot. Unfortunately, those things are permanent, as well as the gauge earring holes with having a big saggy ear hole. So I wouldn't do any type of body modification if it seems like it's trendy and it's going to last forever. Believe me, that trend will probably be over within 5 years. You'll be on the tail end 10 years later, and then you're going to start to look like a real dork if you keep doing it.
Yeah, I saw a dude walking around with sagging ears. He took off those loops from his ears, and it was sagging. And I'm all like, "What happened?" He goes, "Yeah, I used to have those earrings, big ones, but he fucked up his ears, and he's just walking around like he worked at a pizza parlor, but he still didn't. He's all like, I don't give a shit." I'm like, even though my ears are fucked up.
Well, I don't know. Women would be more upset about that. I mean, I'm sure there's some surgery or something you could do to fix it, but it's not really worth it. And I don't really see it as commonly anymore. Like when it's cutting edge, when you're the first one to pick up on a trend, then you're cool. But if you're the last one hanging on to the trend after everybody else has moved on, it's not cool. So, yeah, it's better to spend money on a belt that you don't use again than to get your ears stretched out. And I'm sure that took some time stretching, too. They got to start with the small ones and work their way up bigger, bigger, bigger. And now he just has elephant ears.
I see a lot of comedians walking around with, like, long faces. Sad, pissed off because of the Mueller report.
All right. Well, you're changing the subject so far off subject. And nobody cares. We're not here to talk about politics, GT. If we were a political show... well, first of all, I don't even know what station we'd be on because we disagree on almost everything. But yeah, let's stay off the political conversation because it's boring enough to have to listen to professionals talk about it, let alone comedians.
Man, these guys were going on stage one after another, talking shit about Trump. Now they're like, "Oh yeah, this is like a runaway car chase, which we can't wait to pull him over." It's like a car chase. But I guess they got pulled over.
It's been 25 years now since that white Bronco. 25-year anniversary I saw of the white Bronco with O.J. driving that riveted the nation. That was probably one of the most famous, if not the most famous car chase ever. And it wasn't very fast either. It was like a slow car chase. And OJ did his first tweet recently, I heard. So he's tweeting, and he has like 500,000 followers within like a day.
I heard he's up to 700,000 followers. And all he tweeted was that he didn't have sex with Kris Jenner. And supposedly they were accusing him of having sex with Kris Jenner back in the day.
Well, I don't know, but the reason they feel like this is an authentic Twitter account is because he's posting videos of himself talking. So it's video. And so that's how people know it really is him that owns this Twitter account. But it's like the real OJ 32 or something like that. Like he couldn't even get his own name because there were so many other people who wanted to be him.
Yeah, they're saying on TMZ or stuff like that how people think Khloe Kardashian was fathered by O.J. Simpson.
Well, she's not black. You can look at her. She's not black. Just like Michael Jackson's kids, they're not black either. I don't think they have 1% of his DNA in them. There's no way. He used to be a black man. So even if he had the white surrogate mother, those kids are not his.
Man, I'm just like really excited about this new sizzle I'm working on, and I can't wait to get it done. And it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a fun ride.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of fun, and I can't wait for everybody to see it. So yeah, guys, just enjoy the show. Tune in every week. We come out on Wednesdays. See us live if you can. We have shows at Liquid Zoo last Thursday of every month, and then we have the new show coming up in Culver City. Where was that?
It's at the Scarlet Lady Saloon on July 28th, and this show starts at 9 p.m., $10 cover.
Yeah, so check us out live, and definitely subscribe to us online wherever you listen to podcasts.
Hey guys, you need flooring because your floors got messed up during the last party. You need flooring because your dog urinated all over the place and it's all brown and stained and it's buckling and it's warping because of your dog. You were out doing comedy. No one was home. Well, log on to selectflooring.biz. Selectflooring.biz. B-I-Z. And hit them up. Call them up. Say, hey, what your situation is.
Here we go. We are back. Dive Bar Comedy.
With Dana.
The one name wonder.
How are you guys tonight?
We're good. This is your third time on our podcast. You were writing to GT and saying, when's my podcast episode coming out?
Yep.
You were on episode 32 and then episode 40.
40, right.
Yeah.
Just came out, so go listen.
Yeah. So, yeah, there's a bit of a delay because, we have a backlog of people, and then it might be a month before it comes out.
And then you went having a baby, so...
Yeah, I had to record a few episodes in advance, knowing I was going to have the baby, and then I had to get right back into editing as soon as the baby was born. So, yeah.
Mother's work is never done.
Oh, God.
So, are you still working on your pilot?
Yeah, I'm shopping it around. I got another project that's actually going to be funded. So it's it's not the Italian comedy. This is a very serious drama, but
okay.
But it's cool. It's
fun. Found funding already.
Yeah, for that one.
Nice. Mm-hmm. Was it like a person that is already in the entertainment industry that's funding it, or somebody that wants to be involved more in the entertainment?
It's in a group with a lot of other projects, so they're getting funded. It's getting funded.
How cool.
So yeah, very excited
awesome.
for that.
Very exciting, yeah, because a lot of people think of ideas, but not all of them have money behind it, so it's hard to get them made.
Yeah, that's the hardest part out here, is getting the money.
Yeah. Yeah, and then I run into, or I used to in my dating life, I'd always run into these rich guys that would want to get involved in music or in being a producer or something like that, but even if they have money, if they don't have any industry inside knowledge, it's like their money, it's not smart money. It's like, it's not going to really get you what you want. You want the connections and all of that stuff too.
Very true.
Yeah.
So Dana, what's going on? As you've been performing at Flappers Comedy Club? And...
Yeah. In fact, I'll be at Flappers again on Thursday. It's a busy week for me.
You get booked there a lot.
I do. They book me like at least twice a month. It's been.
Oh wow.
That's good.
Yeah, it's great.
You get in the Yoo-Hoo room or the main room?
It's always been the Yoo-Hoo room so far. So hopefully the next one, listen to that, Flappers. The next one is the main room.
Oh, next one's at the main room.
No. That's what I'm saying. They need to listen. I need to move to the main room.
I think it all depends on your fan base. If you're bringing 10 people, they'll put you in the main room. But if you have one person, then it's the Yoo-hoo room.
Right. The tough part for me is I'm out here 3,000 miles away. All my family and friends are still back on the East Coast.
I used to have a lot of girlfriends that would come out to see my shows, but they kind of either moved or, a lot of them are broke, too. It costs a lot of money. You have to pay for parking. You have to pay for your ticket to get in. You have to buy drinks. Like, by the end of the night, you spent $50-$60, and not everybody can afford to spend that much on just a regular night out.
Right. It can be very expensive.
So,
but it's a lot of fun.
It is fun. And so a lot of my friends would come out a few times, but after that, they're not going to come every single show. So you kind of exhaust your close friends, and then you're left with, trying to get strangers and random far friends that you've never even talked to come, and it gets harder. It gets harder the longer you do comedy.
Right.
Even if you're getting funnier. You might be getting funnier and funnier, but it gets harder and harder to get people to come to your shows. So,
very true.
So, Dana, tell us your social media again.
My social media, Instagram is Dana Olita Ogden, and Facebook is Dana Olita Ogden, and Twitter is Dana Olita Ogden. It's all pretty simple.
How do you spell Olita?
Olita.
Cool. Well, awesome.
All right, Dana, thanks for coming through.
Thank you.
Attention all drinkers. Attention all drinkers. Do you like a smooth tasting vodka that goes down with no burn? How about Global Vodka, straight from Italy? Check it out. You can find it at global-vodka.com. Not only does it have a smooth, great taste, it also is gluten-free and organic for you health nuts. So try Global Vodka. You can find it at global-vodka.com. Or next time you're in LA, check it out at Universal Bar and Grill.
So you guys ready for the next comedian? All right. Also, thank you guys for sticking around. Good to see your bartender, have some good times. So we got a wonderful lady coming up to the stage. So she's like the Madonna of this shit. She only has one name. Her parents may drink. I don't know. I even think she's from back east from the crib. You from the crib? Oh shit. So she might have a gun on her. Watch it. But guys, show some love and put your hands together for the big D, Miss Dana!
Thank you. How is everybody tonight? Awesome. Very good. So, where's everybody from?
Orange County, East Coast. Texas.
So, out of that, one person was even from the area remotely, but, it's Orange County. Okay? This is the thing I've noticed since I've come out here. I am from Philly, and since I have been out here, I have discovered no one is from LA. It's kind of interesting, where the hell do all the LA people go? About 150,000 people are born in LA every single year. But I can't fucking find one of them. Been out here for 3 years. I think I can count on one hand the number of people that are actually from this town. So I'm not sure if it's like a balancing act, that if 10 people come from the East Coast, the 10 of the LA people have to go counterbalance it out. I mean, maybe this flat earth thing is kind of right, because if everybody came out to California, the whole thing would tip. I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe we should start putting people on milk cartons, where's the LA people? Have you seen this woman from LA? There are a lot of things out here that are very different from the East Coast. So one thing that's very different is dog sitting. I actually make a lot of money out here dog sitting. Back in Philly, nobody would pay anything for dog sitting. Are you kidding? Those cheap bastards would rather come home to 10 gallons of piss on the floor than pay you $5 to walk their dog. But out here in LA, you people are crazy. You're afraid to leave your dogs for more than, 60 seconds alone. It's hysterical. Now, for some reason, I seem to have gotten this reputation that I'm really good with old dogs. Very old dogs. Very sick dogs. And I'm going to tell you, last week I watched what was probably the most challenging dog ever. So I got this request, and it was a month-long stay, which, if you watch dogs, that's like a lot of money. That's like gold. And the only thing it said was, my dog likes to sleep a lot. Great, you're going to pay me while your dog sleeps? I'm in heaven. And so this wonderful old man shows up at my door with a baby carriage. I said, wait, am I watching your kid or am I watching the dog? So I look in the baby carriage, and there's this little chihuahua, maybe 4 pounds. And I go, oh, okay. Well, carry it around in the carriage. And I said, well, you know, let's take him out. You know, and he goes, well, he's a paraplegic. Okay. He goes, he can scoot around a little bit. You know, he doesn't really have use of his back legs. Okay, we'll deal with it. And he goes, you know, he's 17. Okay. He goes, I adopted him last year from the shelter. Wait, who adopts a 17-year-old paraplegic dog with congestive heart failure? I was very scared. All I did was walk around the whole time going, please don't die, please don't die, please don't die. Since, you know, that was the toughest thing about watching this dog, because really all I wanted to do was sleep all day. So, easy money. It's kind of nice. The other thing I noticed out here is this police chase shit that you guys have.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like, there are so many, you could dedicate a channel to this stuff every single day. Just nothing but police chase after police chase. In Philadelphia, that shit doesn't happen. Ever. No Philly cop would ever be caught dead chasing somebody. I mean, the hell do they have a gun for? Just shoot the son of a bitch. Makes it a lot easier down there. So, like I said, we don't have any police chases. And one of the reasons I think is because of Dunkin' Donuts. So you guys don't have a lot out here, so you might not have as much experience, but in Philadelphia, there's like a Dunkin', probably like every couple of blocks. You know, you can't go far without finding one. And when you go through the academy, they actually teach you the proper way to hold the cup and a donut in one hand. This way, your other hand is free to shoot anybody that might consider a police chase. And you don't want to drop that coffee because that's like liquid gold. You drop that, you'll have a big police response. So you actually kind of put your fingers together when you want to have the donut and push them back when you want to drink the coffee. It's very convenient. It's a little Philly trick. So another thing that's very interesting out here is your sporting teams. Now, I don't know if I said somebody was from Philly, I think I heard. There you go. So what are Philly sports fans?
We're known to throw snowballs at Santa Claus.
There you go. We are famous for that. We are the only group that has
thrown. And we take over other cities. When we have a big game, we're known to travel in packs, so don't fuck with a Philly person or they will kill you. Worse than the fucking cops order.
Fly, Eagles, fly, right? I went to a Rams game last year, and it was nothing but a sea of Eagles jerseys. I found that to be the most incredible thing, because if 100 people showed up at an Eagles game in Rams jerseys, you would be fucking dead. Okay, no way, no how they would stand for that shit. You'd see them flying off the top deck at Lincoln Field. I took my kid to his first game, and it was Terrell Owens' last game. And when Terrell Owens actually came out on the field, everybody began to boo him. My son goes, Mom, why are we booing somebody from our own team? I said, shut up, you little shit, and start booing. Because that's how we do it. And if you're leaving Philadelphia, you're dead to us. Done. That's how we roll. We are a very unique town in Philadelphia. And, you know, cities like Boston are kind of like that too, but not quite to the same degree. It's very interesting. I want to thank you very much. My name is Dana Olita. You guys have a great night. Hey, Mista See.
Good job, Miss Dana. That's right. She's from the crib. You recovered from that Sixers loss yet?
Oh, no.
Oh,
Are you
man.
kidding that buzzer beater?
Oh, my God. That Kawhi Leonard, motherfucker. Yep. He's good, though. I mean, our guys, they're like 19 years old. A bunch of young, stupid fucks. That's why they lost anyway. Next year, though, they're going to be ready. We're going to do our thing. It's been like 1980 was the last time our Sixers went to the championship.
83.
Fuck, 83. There you go. My man. He knows the deal. He's a Dr. J man. He knows what's up. He knows what's up.
Hey, ladies, you want some hot deals on sexy styles? Check out everydaysweetheart.com for everyday great deals on cute and sexy outfits, clubwear, mini dresses, leggings, sexy lingerie. And guys, feel free to stop by too and find something hot for the girl of your dreams. That's everydaysweetheart.com. And for 10% off, use the friend code Take 10. That's TAKE10. Thanks a lot. All right. I'm Wild Joe. I am here with Elliott Enriquez. What's up, Elliott?
Back at it again with that divebarcomedy.com. Catch us at divebarcomedy.com, you guys.
It is.
Yeah, no, I know. I think you guys, I'm repping that website. You guys put me up. I got to put you guys up. We're on the same website, though.
Did you listen to the podcast? Were you on? Has yours been aired yet?
I don't think it has. You know, I'm waiting eagerly, just like the fans out there. So I think we're all waiting. So whenever that gets up, Wild Joe, you let us know.
I will. You'll be the first person to know when your episode comes up.
We're stoked.
Was the band here when you were here last time?
Yeah. You know, it's actually funny. Last time I showed up and GT was like, hey, listen, there's a band going up. Sorry. And I didn't realize it was like a planned thing. And then I got here this time and I didn't read the flyer close enough, but there's a band every time. And I love following mute band. I love following bands with comedy. I think it's fun. It's classic. It's the way it should be done.
You know what? You were right the first time. It actually was an accident. We accidentally booked our show or didn't book our show. Like the guy that was booking it said, do you want the 27th or whatever? And GT forgot to respond. And he went ahead and booked all the comics. But meanwhile, the venue had booked the band. And then he got there and they're like, oh, sorry, there's this band playing. And we thought it was going to screw up the show. But it actually was great because they have like a cool vibe and they have a lot of fans. And so we invited them to join us for future shows.
You know, that's how I used to do it back in the day before comedy was mainstream. You used to follow the big bands late at night. That's what everyone did in the clubs and at the Copacabana. So, you know, you got the Red Heels on the night. We're at the Copacabana. That's basically what's going on.
Copacabana.
Liquid Zoo and on Sepulveda and NoHo and Copacabana, they're one and the same. It's all the same thing.
So, Enrique, you ever come out to the Valley out here in this part of town?
I used to live down the street in my younger and more vulnerable years about a month ago. And then I grew up around January 1st and got a new place in Koreatown. So I just went from one hood to the other hood. You know, it's good. Good in the hood.
Yeah, I mean, those are actually pretty different places. Koreatown's a lot more congested.
I say Koreatown. I'm in like MacArthur Park. So it's like it is congested, definitely more congested. But, you know, same homelessness problem, same general trash everywhere kind of vibe of L.A.
Honestly, that's every city, at least in California, because the weather is great here and nobody can afford to live, and so they just pitch a tent.
I think it's funny. People are always, I hear the same thing from everyone. It's like, we're paying all these taxes and our roads still suck. And I just realized, like, you're driving around, there's potholes everywhere. The unique thing about California is there's not just like potholes, there's like pothole bumps, like the opposite of a pothole where a road is just too bumpy to function. You like feel like you're in the outback, but you're literally just getting on the highway in California. I think that's the craziest thing.
Yeah. GT actually, I don't know if you saw it on his Facebook page, he actually posted like 4 or 5 photos of a pothole last night.
That's great. That's so, you know, it's very serendipitous that we're now talking about potholes. I think everybody in LA has got their bit about traffic and the roads here. There's something ubiquitous about it, something very, very LA. We got the worst traffic, the worst roads, and anybody who wants to like argue with us about it doesn't really have an argument at all.
That's a good word, ubiquitous.
Yeah, ubiquitous. I mean, it's like, I don't know anybody in LA who doesn't complain about the traffic. It's like every time I do a stand-up bit about traffic, I ask the crowd, I'm like, will you guys excuse me for 5 minutes while I do my 5-minute rant about traffic? Just like my obligatory comedian rant about traffic. Because I always say it's like LA has the worst traffic because it's dead silent. Like if you go to New York or you go to any other city and you're in traffic, everyone's honking, they're screaming and yelling at each other. It's a real inconvenience to their life, whereas in LA, traffic is our life. So it's not an inconvenience, it's just a fact. And we don't get upset about it. Like if you ever turn your radio off in LA traffic, it's dead silent. It's eerie. It's pretty scary.
Do you look in other people's cars when you're driving around?
All the time. It's literally, I get distracted. I almost hit other cars because I'm too busy watching people pick their nose. Like, and I don't think people, it's like if you don't have tinted windows, you got to think about what you're doing in your car. I don't know. I have tinted windows, so I'm doing whatever I want in my car. I'm picking my nose, but no one's judging me. My windows are tinted, but if your windows aren't tinted, you got to step up your game.
You know what? My windows aren't tinted, and I just don't care what people think, and I freely pick my nose and do whatever I want in my car. I don't care at all, because I'm like, I don't look in your car. Why are you looking in mine?
I hate people who say they don't pick their nose. I'm so glad you said you freely do it. People who are like, yeah, I don't pick my nose. You fucking liar. Don't lie to me. Don't look me in the face and tell me you don't perform basic. You don't wipe your ass either. What do you have, a bidet? I don't know. It's just bullshit. It's just bullshit.
I actually pick my nose extra, I think, when I pull into a crowded parking lot. Like, I want people to see. I don't care.
Yeah, I know. I don't pick my nose in public, like when I'm out of the car. But in the car and in the house, that's the nose-picking zone. Sometimes it's, like, exciting because you'll be at work all day, and then you'll get in your car at the end of the day, and you know you got some boogies up there, and you're going to get them out, and you're going to be able to breathe. I don't know why we have to shun this, though. I don't know why we're in our cars hiding it, you know? We need more people like us, Wild Joe, more nose pick. Power to the nose pickers, really.
Honestly, if you go around the world in different cultures, there are different socially acceptable things. Like, I lived in Spain I did an exchange program in Spain, and perfectly acceptable to pick your butt in public. No problem. Everybody's like picking wedgies out of their ass, like no big deal walking in front of you. But if you eat even a granola bar while walking down the street or sitting in the back of a cab or something, they look at you like you have two heads.
That's crazy. I didn't even know that about Spain. I guess I just felt home there because I'm always picking my wedgies out. You know, the thing is like, it's either you pick your wedgie out or you do that weird, like, side diagonal step thing that everyone does. And it's like, what? Everybody knows what you're doing if you're just walking casually and then all of a sudden you're like, oops, and just, like, step out. It's the same thing. I'm picking out a wedgie. I'm just not using my hands, which it's not as effective.
Yeah, and in China, they hawk loogies all over the street, and that's totally fine.
All over the place, all over. If I had the spit, if I didn't have dry mouth from smoking too much weed, I would hawk a loogie right now, just to stick it to the man.
Yeah, stick it to the man. Stick it to the man.
All right. They see, it's a podcast, so they think I just hawked a loogie. I just made the noise.
That's very entertaining of you.
Can in post-production, if you can turn it up, because I kind of turned away from the mic, but turn that up so it extra sounds like I hawked a loogie. Or you can even, if we have access to, like, sound bites, maybe throw a hawk and loogie sound bite in there, but cut this whole part out. So everyone thinks I hawked a loogie. They think I'm a badass.
You know what? I'm not going to waste my time doing that, but I'm going to leave that to any super fans of the Dive Bar Comedy Podcast who are good at audio editing. Add in that hawk a loogie sound, and you get a free ticket to GT's Comedy Jam.
Exactly. Then tweet it at me so I can share with everyone so I get more followers because I'm a badass who sticks it to the man by hawking loogies.
So where can people find you online?
You can always find me online at elliottcomedy.com. That's Elliott with 2 L's, 2 T's, ELLIOTT, like the last name, but it's my first. And that's comedy.com. And, you can catch my next show at the Comedy Store. You can get tickets at elliott.lol/CS215. That's Comedy Store 215. That's CS215.
Very confusing. Well, hopefully this podcast comes out before that show, but I kind of doubt it because we're a little bit backed up.
All right. And in that case, you can catch me at my next show at Madison Square Garden. It's going to be on. It's good. When's this one coming out? In like a year? We'll be at MSG by then. Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, can't wait to hear your set.
All right, guys. Thank you.
All right. So this next gentleman coming to the stage, he got the double E for the name, like he's some kind of rapper or some shit. I don't know what it is. And it looks like he spent some time in Chicago, so he may have a small gun wound that hampers him as he comes to the stage. But I want you to show a lot of love, because this brother's a cool guy, super talented, the double E's. He even got a cool middle name, because his name is Elliott Enriquez.
Oh, wow. Thank you. You gotta burn a second on this Elliott Enriquez. Who's this white guy? When did Carl get here? How's everybody doing? How's the New Year's going for everybody? Yeah, okay, we got some people keeping up with those resolutions. I always like to start my resolution like a month before New Year's, because I'm fat. My resolution every year is just to lose weight every year, so obviously I'm not doing a good job. So I always try to go like a month early. I start going to the gym so I can develop a relationship with all the trainers. I start to know them all by name. I'm showing up. I'm like, yo, Rodrigo, what's up? Hey, Dave, what's going on, man? And then by the time all the other fat people show up on January 1st, they're like, I'm an inspiration because like I've been going there. Like I know all the trainers and like they're commenting on my forum. They're like, Elliott, good job. And all the other fat people are like, oh man, if I just stick with it, I can be like Elliott. And by the time everybody else gives up, I just fade away with the fat people and no one notices. It's just like, great, I have no accountability. But I'm trying to lose weight. I struggle with it though because I get cravings. Because I'm addicted to food. Like that's what it comes down to. It's like the other night, like I was sitting in my apartment, in my studio apartment, like the light flickering, and I wanted a Reese's really bad. And I was having this conversation with myself in my head, just sitting in a chair in my apartment, like, the liquor store's only a block away. Yeah, but you only have like $5 in your bank account. The Reese's is only like $1.99. Yeah, but do you really want to walk to the liquor store at 4 a.m.? It's like I'm having the same conversation a crack addict has with himself about goddamn Reese's. So I got a problem, obviously. But I'm trying to be positive. I'm trying to be positive. Body positivity is what it's all about, right, guys? Yeah. No, you guys aren't with me. Yes. Is this the light changing every 5 seconds? Is that what's going on? Too much? But I'm trying to be positive, right? So I'm trying to think like things I like about my body. Like when I sit down, I have like a 3-inch overhang of fat. I like to call my cubby. It's where I store things. Like for anybody who went to preschool, cubbies where you store things. Like if I'm driving and I'm smoking my vape pen like an asshole, yeah, I just keep it there in my cubby, and it just stays there. It's a very convenient spot, and that's body positivity. So it's like the problem is like I'll go out to dinner, I put napkins in there. And then I forget that I put napkins in there, so by the time I stand up at the end of the night, all the napkins fall on the floor. It's really embarrassing. Everybody's looking at me like, what are you doing? I'm using my cubby. You gotta be positive. Body positivity. All right, guys. Sit in for a second. All right. Oh, man, what was I going to talk about next? See you guys later.
We care.
I'm just kidding! I'm sorry, I'm going to hide behind the pole. It is a joke, thank you. All right, is anybody watching Queer Eye? Fuck, damn, dude. Anybody watching that show Queer Eye? Yeah, anybody watching Queer Eye on Netflix? Thank you. It's a great show. I love that show. It's very inspirational. Obviously, you guys can tell that I don't feel too confident in myself in the time I watch that show. It's just a bunch of gay dudes telling sad, fat, lonely dudes how great they are. I need that in my life. If I could hire 5 gay guys to live with me and tell me how great I am today, I wouldn't be bombing in front of you right now. Like, that wouldn't be happening. Like, if I had 5 gay guys, they'd be like, don't worry about it, Elliott, you're doing a great job. Don't worry, you got this. And I'd be like, yeah, I can feel it, you guys, let's do it. Every morning I'd wake up, they'd be like, look at you. You're still giving me, like, woke up on the wrong side of the bed realness. You're giving me stayed up all night to play video games. You're giving me, I ain't chubby, that's a cubby. I need it in my life, I do, I need them. I need gay guys in my life. I was telling one of my straight friends about this, he's like, I don't watch that show, that shit's weird, man, I don't watch gay stuff. I don't always understand why it's, like, straight guys who are afraid of gay stuff the most. It's like, because, like, to me, like, straight guys are more gay than any gay guys I know. Like, the relationship 2 straight guys have, like, it's very homoerotic. It's very strange to me. It's like I used to be a wrestler, right? That's basically dry humping a dude to submission for 9 minutes. That's all that is. And you do it extra special in spandex. It doesn't make any sense. Like, it's not, like, I'm literally like a towel whip away from being like, yas, queen. That's better in Palm Springs. That's better in Palm Springs. They're like, yas, you. No, seriously, I do watch, I love that show. It's a great show. It's very inspirational. I like inspirational television. What's the next thing I was going to talk about? You guys don't even remember. I'm very focused on my dog right now. He's throwing up. He's very sick. They cut off his tail. It's very sad. Dogs don't get it, though. They're just happy animals. I don't like going to the dog park very much, though. Dog parks weird me out because I think the people at dog parks are weirder than the dogs. They're always like they have nothing else going on in their life. They always come up to you and they're like, oh, hey, which one's yours? Oh, hey, which one's yours? What's going on over there? And you're like, oh, that's mine. He's the brindle one over there. Just wagging his butt. And you're like, oh, that's mine. That's the white one. Looks like they're getting along. Oh, wow, we should have a play date. I wonder if like the dogs do the same thing when they're over there and they're like, oh, hey, which human's yours over there? Which one's yours? It's like, oh, he's the one in the jeans that looks like he's given up on himself. And they're like, oh, mine's the one that like kicks me to the vet too much because they're always worried I'm dying. And they're like, oh, we should get our humans together. Maybe they could do this thing on the bed that makes the humans happy. Like, all right, great. All right, guys, you've been wonderful. Have a great day.
That's right. Show some love once again for Elliott Enriquez. Papi. El papi, baby, that's right. Enrique, baby, that's right. He's a Latin lover on the inside. Y'all just don't know it yet. Let him slip that dick in you. You'll be speaking Spanish your goddamn self. You know what I'm saying? Once again, another round for Elliott Enriquez. All right.
Hey guys, you need a party tent, you need a commercial tent, you need a tent because you have no garage? Well, log on to webtentsale.com, WEBTENTSALE.com, and check out our site. This site is designed for commercial tents, party tents, and anything but camping tents. So if you need a tent because you have a party and you will need to buy it instead of renting it all the time, you're tired of throwing your money down the drain, well, go to our website, webtentsale.com, and check it out and order your tent right now. We have Kelly Shanley here. It's her second time on our show.
Oh, yeah, we had her, but you haven't done an interview for the Dive Bar Comedy Podcast yet.
I have not. I missed it last time. I think I was just running around not knowing what was happening.
Wow, you got a lot of check marks next to your name. You brought your whole cheerleading squad. Sorry, that was sexist. You're very cute. She's very cute and blonde.
Thank you. Actually, a lot of them I play kickball with.
Kickball?
Yeah. So,
Okay.
you know.
Hey, I was close.
Sports, yay. And then some of them are from my writing class, too. So
Nice. You got
Kickball.
a very popular.
It's like, is that like soccer?
it's like softball or baseball. So you play it on a diamond, but you use a big red rubber ball.
Oh, yeah, I used to play
So
that
people
in
play it in elementary
grammar school. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And
Wow.
then we play it as grown-ups, because why not?
Are you good at kicking the ball really far?
Sometimes, yeah. There's actually a little more strategy involved than you would think. Like, when I first played, I was like, cool, I'll just kick and run. And there's, like, bunting and all this strategy and stuff, so...
And, like, what part of the foot you kick with and what
Yeah.
kind of shoes you wear.
Yeah.
It's like baseball. So, like,
Yeah.
baseball, but you have to kick it.
Yeah. So you have to know how to run the bases and all that stuff, but it's really fun.
You ever get hit by a ball?
I did last night, actually, yeah.
Where at?
I play in a league in North Hollywood.
You got hit.
Yeah, but where on the body?
Oh, I got hit. It's not painful because it's like a rubber ball, but I was running from first base to second base, and it just, like, hit me in the leg.
No injuries.
No. I'm okay. I'm walking normally. Everything is fine, but it
Is
was
this
embarrassing.
done on a baseball field?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So you play the same rules as baseball or softball, except you can, like, peg people with the ball. Where, like, in baseball or softball, you have to have the ball in your hand and tag them. In kickball, you can just throw it at them and they're out, too.
What's your team called?
Well, my women's team is called the Betties.
The whaties?
The Betties.
Okay.
It's all girls? Or?
Uh-huh. And then the co-ed team I play on is called the Baldwins. And
Wow, you're on 2 teams?
I'm on a lot of teams. It's embarrassing.
Wow, how often do each team play?
Well, so the women's team, we do tournaments. Like every couple of months, we'll play in a tournament. We're going
But what
to
about
Dallas.
practicing?
At practicing, we try to practice once a week.
Okay.
So it's fun, but it's like a good workout, and you run around and like.
So with
we have
all
a
the
good
teams
time.
combined, how often are you playing kickball?
Probably like 2 or 3 days a week.
That's not bad.
It's not. There was like one point where all these leagues overlapped, and I was playing 4 days a week, and it was really embarrassing. But that was a while ago.
Where'd you start comedy?
The first time I did it was at Flappers, actually. I did like their new comics show, and I got to follow Christopher Titus, which was terrifying for my first time ever. But it was fun. So I do Flappers pretty often. I like the vibe over there. And that's cool.
All we've been talking about in this podcast is Flappers.
Oh,
Because
really?
GT's been going to Flappers and stealing all their comics for the GT's Comedy Jam.
Well, where did I meet you? I can't remember.
Flappers.
Was it Flappers? Probably
yeah.
Flappers.
Every
Yeah.
single comic, we're like, where do you perform? They're like, Flappers.
Yeah.
Flappers. Which Flappers is a nice place, but we're like a little Flappers heavy on this show.
I like the Ice House too. I've done the Ice
It's
House
like
quite
that's
a
a
few
subdivision.
times.
Flappers is a subdivision of Ice House because Dave used to work at the Ice House and then he started Flappers.
Oh,
Really?
okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's the
I've
first
never
place
been
I
to Ice
met
House.
Dave.
Ice House is cool.
I've never been there. I heard
David
it's nice.
Barbaro used to be talent, checking out talents
Yeah.
at the Ice House. I remember.
Oh, I see.
They
I
used to
think
watch
I've been.
some
You know what? I wish
I didn't know that.
I wish I remember the name, but one of my Facebook friends just posted that she became the talent coordinator at Ice House last week.
Oh,
But I should know her name, but I forgot it already.
well, you should get her name to me.
Yeah, I need to go to Ice House. I've heard a lot about it
The
over
Ice
the
House
years.
is cool. They have like a
Pasadena.
they have a bar show, and then they also have the main room. So it's cool. I like it. And they have like a nice patio with a bar outside. It's a cool spot.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the big comics come through Ice House. I know they all stop by there. And
Yeah.
and do shows.
It's fun.
So
it's a good time.
Cool. Well, this will be good. Your first time on Dog Bar Comedy Podcast.
Yeah. And, this is fun.
Yeah.
I like it.
So, where can people find you online?
Online? I don't have a very good online presence. I need to work on that. I have Twitter.
I mean, if people want to contact you or find your social media.
Me, well, I'm just Kelly Shanley on Facebook. Or on Instagram, I'm at Tahoe Kel.
Okay.
TAHOEKEL. And then I'll post my shows on there. I'm on Twitter, but I think I've only posted on there like twice. Flappers.
Where at?
This is all about Flappers. This is an all Flappers show.
I cannot remember.
By the time this episode comes out, it may have already happened. You never know.
This is true.
But do you post your shows online anywhere?
I do. I post them on Facebook, and then I usually post them on Instagram too.
Cool. All right, awesome. Well, we look forward to hearing your set.
Yeah. Thanks so much.
All right, Kelly Shanley. Thanks a lot.
LA residents, are you tired of slippery floors? Are you afraid you might slip on your tile? Well, check out tightgripla.com. It's a local business coming out, surveying your floors, and treating it with a non-slip solution, a semi-permanent non-slip solution that will keep your floors safe, whether in the rain outdoors or indoors in the kitchen or bathroom areas that sometimes get wet and very slippery. So if you want safer floors and to not get injured while you're just walking around, check out tightgripla.com.
All right, so we got one more comedian coming to the stage. Our final comedian of the evening. You ready for this last comedian? You goddamn right. Goddamn right. Not like him, man. Run Rolling sounds like it's got a lot of potential. Sounds like somebody's going to have a TV show or HBO special or maybe just be somebody's mom. But this shit is going to be great. Show some love and put your hands together for the KS Miss Kelly Shanley.
Thank you. I'm going to pick the HBO special if it's a choice. Hi guys. Thanks for being here still. Yeah. Do you ever feel like autocorrect is just a couple stoners in a basement somewhere just like fucking with you? You ever leave it though just because it's kind of funny? Like, I'm gonna let you have that one. That was a good one. Yeah. Also, is there anything more hurtful than when you kiss your pet, like your cat or your dog, and they immediately start licking themselves right there, like, ew, ew, ew. I'm like, you lick your asshole and that grossed you out? Rude. It's very rude. I had a very rude interaction the other day at the airport. I flew back from New York. Long day. Got up at 6 a.m. in New York. Landed in Burbank at like 5 p.m. I'm tired. I'm grumpy. You know how it is. When I was visiting a friend, so I was like drinking a lot, eating a lot. And when I travel, my skin breaks out because I'm in my 30s and I still get to deal with acne. So my face was really broken out. And I was really aware of it, okay? So I get to the airport, I call my Lyft, I'm waiting on the curb, basically a zombie, and this woman walks up to me and she's like, hi, I want to give you my business card. And I was like, what? And she's like, oh, I work for a company called Rodan & Fields. It's a skincare company. You should try it. Maybe it will help your face. Yeah. You can laugh. It's okay. I did not. I just like stood there. I was like so stunned / embarrassed. Like, I was just like, okay. And I put her business card in my purse and I like walked away. And then I got my Lyft and I like ran it in my head. You know when like a situation happens and then later you're like, I should have said this, I should have said that, I should have said this. I didn't say anything at all. I should have been like, oh, Rodan & Fields, I've been using it for a year. Shit doesn't work, okay? It's not true, but still. Or I could have been like, oh yeah, do you use it? Of course I do. I'm good. Or I could have just given her like a real hard death stare and then like slowly ripped the business card in half and thrown it into the air in front of her face. But I'm not that gangster in real life, so I didn't. Option 4, keep the business card and prank call the shit out of her. Which is what I'm going to go with because I didn't do any of the other ones. So, prank calling it is, yeah. I'm a kid of the 90s. I was born in the 80s, don't worry. But I grew up in the 90s, very much like a product of the landline. And I feel like kids these days, I hate saying that, but kids these days don't know how lucky they are to have fucking cell phones. Yeah. Landlines were stressful. Seriously, like if you wanted to talk to your best friend about something, you couldn't just like message them on Facebook or even MySpace. Remember that one? Like you had to call their house, and you never knew who was going to answer. You know what I mean? It was like rolling the dice every time. Like maybe you'll get absent-minded dad who has no idea who you are, even though you've been to their house like 100 times. Like, it's me, Kelly. I was there yesterday. You've known me since birth. Anyway. Or you get mom, and she answers. She's like, hello, and you're like, oh my god, you think it's your friend? Amanda, it's Kelly. Da-da-da-da. And she's like, oh, honey, it's Karen. And then she talks your ear off for like 5 minutes, and you're like, fuck. Or you get the scary older brother. Like, he answers, he's like, hello. You're just like, ah! Like, not doing that at all. For me, sorry, am I like blowing your ears out, or is that just this right here? Okay, just making sure. For me, it was usually the bitchy older sister. Like most of my friends had bitchy older sisters, and my boyfriend in 5th grade, he has 5 older sisters. Okay, so every time I called his house, this is pretty much how it went. Hi, it's Kelly. Is Nicholas there? Just a second. Nikki, it's your girlfriend. And then she would just mock him all the way to the phone. I was just like dying of shame at my house, like miles away. I don't know. It was silly. But prank calling used to be like an event. You know what I mean? Like you would have a slumber party, you had friends over, and you're like, who are we gonna prank call? And everyone's like throwing out ideas. Oh, we landed on this one kid. I felt real bad for him. He was kind of like the outcast anyway. And his parents were those parents who made you like answer the phone and identify yourself. Because, you know, normally you call and you're like, oh, he's back there, and you have to like make up a lie about who you are to get him on the phone, right? You didn't have to do that. You call. And they'd be like, Jensen resident, Susan speaking. Click. That was the mom, like 5 minutes. Call back. Jensen residence, Beck speaking. You're like, fucking jackpot! Yeah! Ask if his refrigerator's running! I don't know who came up with that. I don't know why that's funny, but, you know. And then there's the answering machine. Like, for as much as people complain about voicemail, do you remember answering machines? Like, that shit is out loud, and it's live. So, like, if you call a friend and it's one of those houses where they don't answer the phone during dinner, or they screen their phone calls, they're probably all sitting around the table just listening to you. That shit's terrifying. You have to speak in code and shit. You're like, Amanda, it's Kelly. We have to talk about code word banana. Call me back. Like, anyway. No, my parents were not like that. They were like, just answer the phone and tell them to call them back. Boom, done. My parents are pretty cool. As I've gotten older, I've gotten very close with my mom. Maybe too close. I don't know. We went to a wedding together, and she's the best wedding date I have ever had. She drove. She bought all my drinks. Like, literally every time I turned around, it was like, here's another Chardonnay. And I'm like, thank you, Mom. She got me so drunk, I forgot to eat cake. And then she strategically left early, so I would have to spend the night with my high school crush. That was a bust. But I called her in the morning to come pick me up, because I'm an adult, you know? And she did. And she brought me a change of clothes without me even asking. Flip-flops, yoga pants, hoodie, no bra, because she knows me. I don't need that. Yeah, on the way home, we were like stopping for snacks and like shooting the shit. And I couldn't figure out why she was so cool with my like supposed slutty behavior. And then I realized I'm over 30 and she has no grandkids. Yeah. No, my dad was cool. He was tough. He was tough, but like a teddy bear at the same time. And when I was a kid, I was afraid of the dark. Like stupid afraid of the dark. Like I would not step outside my house without like the dog or another person with me. So my dad was always trying to like fix me. And he would take me outside at night and he would turn off all the driveway lights. And he would hold my hand and we'd walk around and he'd be like, see? There's nothing to be afraid of. It's not there in the day. It's not there in the dark. I was like, okay, logically, I know that. But, like, how did you get over being afraid of the dark? And he goes, well, when I was a sniper in Vietnam, there were men at the dark with guns who wanted to kill me. And I know they're not here. Okay, I think that method sounds a question. But I have this theory that little kids who are afraid of the dark behave exactly like paranoid stoners. I know this because I have been both. Yeah. Think about it. Like you're a little kid, it's bedtime, like the worst part of your day. Ugh. You know, your parents are like tucking you in. They're like, good night, we love you, sweet dreams. And then they turn off the light and they close the door. And then the nightmare begins. And you're just like, oh, here, and you're like, all right, be cool. Be cool, be cool. What was that? It was nothing. It was nothing. It was nothing. Just go to sleep. Be cool. What the fuck was that? You know, God, be cool, man. Be cool. And like a shadow moves in front of your face, and you're like, what the fuck was that? Mom? Mom? Dad? And they come running in, and they're like, no, it's okay. There's nothing to be afraid of. You're safe. Right? Unless they're stoner parents. In which case, they're like, you heard that too? Thank you so much, you guys. I'm telling you.
Great job. Another round of applause for Kelly Shanley. All right. And we have so come to the end. Oh, shit. Of the GT Comedy Jam. Thank all you guys for coming out. Give yourselves a round of applause for sticking out. Great job on all the comedians. Thanks to the Lotus Lounge. Thanks to Global Vodka, our sponsor for the event. Thanks to GT. Thank all you guys. Travel safe. Get home nice. Tip your bartender. One love, guys. One love.
Okay, that's our show for this week. Thank you all for listening. I'm Wild Joe and GT. We have a great time doing this podcast, and I hope to hear from you guys. Give us your feedback.
Yeah, hit us up on gtscomedyjam.com website, or listen to our podcast on divebarcomedy.com, iTunes, Spotify, and SoundCloud.
Oh, and we have a Twitter account now, at Dive Bar Comedy on Twitter. So add us on Twitter. We'll add you back. We only have a few followers because we're just starting this new Twitter account. So can't wait to hear from you guys. Thanks for tuning in.